Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Slovakia. Summer is here. Everybody's swimming in lake. Not typically halal, but not the point of this video. So don't tell me, brother, this is haram. Bro, I'm on the lake. It's like a hidden gem here. Don't tell anyone about it. Like, to find this place, it's so difficult. So in this video I wanted to summarize the reasons why I have changed my perspective on Dawah and Islamic education and stuff like that in recent weeks. And it has to do with forming our own masjid, Jamaat in Slovakia, and building this community. And I realized one thing: the online Dawah never beats actually the physical sense of community. So what's happening online in our Dawah scene is very toxic, and subhanallah, these gadgets. So what's happening online is very toxic, and I no longer want to be part of it. So essentially the only purpose of this channel will be to share my thoughts, maybe to speak with somebody, but I don't have an agenda. I don't have any specific things. I just hope you guys can be in touch with me to see how we progress with building Slovak community, and help us with finances and stuff like that, which you already did. And that's the primary reason for this channel, so that the Ummah can watch what's happening in Slovakia. However, I no longer want to get involved in Dawah, and it's getting to the point where nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's accusing other groups of bid'ah or of sectarianism or extremism, blah blah blah. And for reverts, alhamdulillah that I am able to see these things and sort of navigate it, but new Muslims are completely lost. They don't even know what's going on, and if you bring these debates to them, it's just gonna confuse them. They leave Islam, become murtad. You're creating, with this online Dawah scene, with refutation videos, you're creating more ex-Muslims. Do you know that? Like, it doesn't help the Muslims to strengthen their faith. It actually lowers their iman in Islam, because they see, like, if Islam is true, why are there so many like beefs online and refutations about, like, it may seem like small issues, but it's like huge videos and stuff like that. Like, why is it happening? And it lowers the iman of people, the faith of people who don't have it very strong. So it actually creates ex-Muslims. Do you think you want to stand in front of Allah with this? Like, and that's why I realized everybody who's doing Dawah online is an amateur. Everybody, name any name, they are an amateur. They are not the real sheikhs. Just because they put sheikh before their title doesn't mean they're sheikh. The real people of knowledge, the real scholars, they don't talk to each other like that. They don't attack personally, and they welcome the criticism. Do you get it? So there's a huge disconnect between Dawah people and then real people of knowledge. And I'm in a position where any Dawah people I see, I already saw them. Like, I already know most of the things and arguments they're gonna talk about. So I'm more concerned with the real Islamic knowledge and what's real, you know, and going through actually official tradition. So the madhabs, going through the education. So I've signed up for this online university and stuff like that. I'm not gonna mention any names because I'm sure people will have problem with it. But anyways, I'm trying to officially educate myself. Now I'm in, alhamdulillah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm trying to focus more on my Quran and my Quranic recitation. We'll see how that goes. I mean, I want to improve because there's no teacher we have and there's no scholar we have here. So everything I have to do online, but I want to have good sources. And then I want to also teach our community, and also they can teach me, and we can teach each other whatever we learn. We can yeah, so I have a plan for the next couple of years, so that when my son grows up, the first thing he needs to know is the Quran. So I want to teach him with good recitation. Like, I want to get to the point where I can recite the Quran and I can also learn Arabic properly, because I can just read it. And this is the real Islam. Like, this is, yeah, like, you can't make fatwas and do all these things or your Quranic recitation is like weak. Like, everything depends on the Quran. You don't know the Quranic recitation, you don't know that, then you can't move. You like there are steps in Islamic knowledge. There are people who have memorized thousands of hadiths, thousands of books of dhikr, thousands of whatever, and you don't even know the Quran, so you can't speak on it, bro. You can have an opinion, but you're not an official person, so I'm not even there. I just wanna improve my knowledge, because I felt, man, I'm kind of stagnating, because what I'm seeing online in the Dawah thing, I already know this is nothing new to me, and to increase my knowledge I don't have access to scholars. Like, I would have to move, and that's not possible right now. So what am I gonna do? And the online, you know, it's a problem. So there's only way to do it is like really focus on yourself. And I've realized one thing, that nothing beats physical building of the community. Really, I thought like maybe my mission, or let's say my, how do I say this, my passion, maybe my things were YouTube and making videos and blah blah blah, but that's nothing really. To have a community, to have a real masjid, to do Jummas, to do some lectures, to meet other Slovak Muslims, to have all these problems we have as reverts, to share that, and then to build a community, to make a nikah between different Slovaks. That's so beautiful, you know. And this is what I want to focus on. This is the real thing, because this is how you really, subhanallah, the guy came on a bike. This is how you really build a community. Really seeing it grow in real life, because the online Islam, if you just stay in online Islam, there are people who like that even here, and they never mingle within the community. They are so ostracized, they are kind of alone. They don't know how to pray properly. They don't really understand the basics of Islam. They think they do, and they teach others, but they don't even know how to make wudu. So they are making so much blunders, and their aqidah is all over the place. And they never meet anyone, because when they enter the masjid, they see like formalized things, and they don't agree. And this is what happens when you follow Islam without scholars, when you follow Islam just based on the Quran and Sunnah, but based on my understanding. So this is what it means, you know. You can't do that, because it leads to extremism. We had extreme cases even here. Every madhab is represented, every sect, every aqidah, everything is represented in Slovakia as well, in very small numbers. And it's so funny to watch, like the entire ummah is here and we're so fragmented. There have been so many fights here, it's insane. The most concerned are the reverts then, because the fighting occurs among the senior people who have been Muslim for 15-20 years, and people who have just embraced Islam like a year ago, they are like super confused. Basically that's where we are, and I wanted to share that nothing beats the physical sense of community, to actually have a masjid, do all these things, because that's what Islam is. Islam is not like, I do dawah, you become Muslim, and you stay home on Facebook or on YouTube. This is not good. You have to create a community and make children and do something for the deen of Allah. And maybe people think like making online content is great. That's great, but it's nothing. Like really, what's more valuable, to build a masjid or to have a great YouTube channel? To build a masjid, like that's real world. YouTube channel is nothing. It's just ideas, but the ideas manifest in actual things. So the actual thing is the masjid, is the community. That's actually how it's gonna change the society. I mean, you can have it also, you need the content as well, but I think we put too much emphasis on it. We have to focus on the real world and what really people need, you know. And that's, you know, a real community, like how it was back in the days, you know. And people now, everybody can have their own opinion, everybody can make their content and stuff, so it's oversaturated. A few years back you just had a couple of books about Islam and that's it, and they were based on like a scholarly consensus, and so it was quite safe. Now it's very unsafe. I personally feel the responsibility to increase my knowledge, because it's been lacking. You can't have stagnating knowledge in Islam, because ilm is how you get closer to Allah. By increasing your knowledge you get close to Allah. If you just stay on where you are, it's not good. And there's so much things you can do. You never have an excuse like, I know enough. Like I thought I knew quite a lot, but actually no. So you have to, like, just the Quran recitation and different qirats and different ways of recitation and memorization, it's gonna take you lifetime. And if you even if you memorize the whole Quran, you have to understand the meaning, the tafsir. That's gonna take you another time. And even if you understand that, you have to teach it to your children, which is gonna take another time. So if you just focus on the Quran, You have plenty of to do in just this dunya, in just one life. And then imagine the the hadith sciences, the fiqh, all this. Like, there's so much to learn. Yet we just think like, oh, I understand. I understand Allah. Do you? What do you know about His names and attributes? You know, what do you know about our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You know, just basics. Like, I'm ashamed to tell you how much I know. I know the basics, but it's not the same. It's not the same as if you grew up with it. So, but I think it starts and goes back to the Quran, because on the Day of Judgment, the Quran will intercede for you. It will help you to get past the Day of Judgment. And every surah you did, every letter, you'll see the hasanat, you'll see the good deed. And this is such an easy win, because you can download an app, or you can listen to a recitation online and just try to mimic it, even if you don't know how to read Arabic. Or then, of course, learn to read. But I suggest QuranicRevolution.com. It's like an app where you have actual teachers who listen to your recitation and they give you feedback. So alhamdulillah, that's great, and I'm just starting with that. The last thing you should worry about is fiqh. The last thing you should worry about are Islamic sciences and hadith, and then maybe, of course, history, all that. And then once you understand this, and maybe you get ijazah, maybe you don't, then you can have an opinion on something. Guys, look at what's in the back. Very nice village here in Slovakia. Slovakia is cool if you make it halal, which we are trying to do. Signing off from Slovakia. I'm on a family trip with my son, my wife, and her parents, and her niece, I guess. So this is we're hanging out here for a week, for 5 days. Yeah, I can't travel much with a newborn, so I'll have to wait for some exciting trips maybe next year. I was focused too much on the dunya, you know, for the past year or two. I justified it by maybe seeing that, okay, it's in Islam, you can be a rijal and make money and stuff, which you can, but you gotta focus on the akhirah. And then the closer you get to your death or old age, the more concerned you'll be with just the knowledge, the Quran, and just like the real deal, not like this abstract thing or this dunya, like my career or whatever. You'll quickly forget about it and do what Al-Ghazali did, like, okay, I'm just gonna vacuum the mosque and clean it, because I hope I'll get some good deeds out of this, because the Day of Judgment is getting close. So we live in this illusion that we have some time to live, but what if I die? So you never know. I just pray that Allah keeps me on the straight path and I don't deviate in terms of sins, because that's always a concern, especially if you live in the Europe. But that's how it is. So guys, stop doing online Islam. Like, go go in real life. I have this love and hate relationship with the internet, because internet allows me to become a Muslim. Through internet I got so much information in my life, my business, everything depends on the internet. So it's great, because I would be never allowed to live like this if there was no internet. I wouldn't be able to just live anywhere. I would have to go somewhere to find a job, but I have a digital company, so I don't have to. Or, all these things are great, but then the opposite is, like, you spend too much online, you waste so much time, shayateen, you watch haram content. So there's so much at stakes that I really hate it now. I enjoy time without being online. Like right now I'm not online, I'm just here, then I sign on and I just see the notifications. So I really hope to unplug, because this technology is leading us to some bad stuff, but good and bad, good and bad. Anyways, have a nice day, have a nice summer. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Make some dua for us Slovaks, inshallah. See you.